So in October, my father came home. The family was together. I mean, our little family, my mother, my father, and I was very happy. We started a new life again. And we have so many things to talk about, what's happened in the past years, what my father told me, his story, he went through a lot, but this is his story. Then first I went to work because we had to make some little money. And then after I went back to school, I finished my high school, I got my diploma. Then I met with my husband later on, and we became very good friends. He lost his parents, his brother, sister. So my father and my mother was his parents too. They liked him right away, and they really helped him how much they could. So I never have a long dress. I never went to the ball. I never live like other young girls with boys and cafes and We had a very simple life, but we work. I got my diploma ready. I went different, this office work. Then at 1947, we got married at June 15th in Dohány Temple in Budapest, where I was bas mitzvah on age 12. And a year later, my son was born, Peter. I was very, very happy. It was everything for me. After Peter was a little bit older, then I went back to the college. Not back, so I started the college, architecture. Because first I had a job like blueprint, and they find out I have the talent to do that. So they sent me to the college, and for 4 years I went. Daytimes I went to school, and afternoon I went to work, the same place. Smadachi Mrete, that's Vati, they call Vati. And then the time is past. My mother, we have to close, not close. They took away the store. They took away whatever we have in the store, what money, the communists, they took away. So my father went to work, Michael went to work, and I was work. And my mother took care of Peter. Very good to care of, very good. He was a beautiful boy, dark, black hair, dark eyes, beautiful boy. Then, when I almost finished the college, I get pregnant with my second son, with Gary, Gábor. His Hungarian name is Gábor. So he was born in 1952, September 26. I was really very happy with my 2 boys, with my parents, with my husband. We have 2 apartments first, then we changed for the bigger apartment and we live together. This is the apartment. Later we came at 1957, 56 we left the country during the revolution. But before we did that, 1952, when Gary was born, after I went back to work again, and we had a nice family life. At 56, again, we start the problem, the dark clouds. The revolution start. First, we don't know what's gonna happen, but that was in October. Then the revolution, during the revolution, the Hungarian Nazis came out. They start the same thing, hit the Jews, kill the Jews. I was there with 2 little boys. My husband always wanted to come to America. He has a brother here, he has uncles, aunts here, cousins. He always talk about, let's go escape. I can't leave my parents. We went through so much together. It's impossible, I can't leave them. But when he took me one day between the shooting to the street, and I see it's no more life in Budapest. How I can raise 2 Jewish boys here? I went back and I was thinking about, and that was the night. The shooting was very bad. It came through the windows, through the place where we are. So my father, we have the corner couch, and my father doesn't let us to go down to the cellar because everybody was in such a panic, such a hysterical, that it's not good for the children. But he made the little place in the corner of the couch, with turn around, with all the pillows and covers, and we put the 2 children there, and actually I'm just holding in my lap them. And that was the time Peter was looking, he was 8 years old, he was just looking in my eyes, that what's gonna happen? What's happening here? How is my family? Why we have to suffer? Why is happening that? And the little one Gary was 4 years old, and he said, "Don't worry, mommy, don't worry. I'm gonna save you. Whatever is gonna happen, I always save you." And that was the night when I realized it's my husband is right. It's very hard to say goodbye to my parents, but we're gonna do everything after we get to America, and they're gonna come with us. So in the early morning, that was December 6th, 1956. And that's December 6th. It's like the little holiday in Hungary. The children get candies in their shoes. So before we start the revolution, I bought 2 pair of shoes, the boys, and I bought, all kind of candies over there, and there was in the window. And December 6th, early morning, my father came with us to the station, and we sit on the train. It was terrible to say goodbye. Before that night, my father took out 2 gold chain, one put on Peter's neck, one to Gary's neck. That was the only thing we took for that long journey. And we couldn't go too far. We have to get out from the train, and then they told me what we have to do. We have to cross the border, what's about 25 kilometers to walk. So how are we gonna walk with 2 little boys 25 kilometers? What we did, we gave it to Gary sleeping pill. Mike put him on the shoulder, the back. And Peter walked, 8 years old, walked 25 kilometers without a word. Only he said a couple of times, "My tummy hurts." But he walked, very brave. He was very brave. And we walked all night. We started walking in the dark, and all night, it was almost morning already. And we have to cross the border. And this wasn't bridge and wasn't anything. there was like the big tree just cross the border, and we have to go step by steps. And somebody said to my husband, "Give it to me, the baby, I'm gonna hold, I'm sure you are tired already, I'm gonna take care of him." And we went through and we couldn't find my son. And I said to my husband, you want to save them and now you kill them. So I was really hysterical, very, 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 very sad and very hurt. Because my children was everything for me. I said, I'm not gonna take one step from here. I'm gonna stay here or I'm gonna kill myself, but I'm not gonna take a step. And we walk around for a pretty long time till I hear a little, very little, it's like the pussycat, a little noise. There was Gary, without the blanket, without anything. The man put him next to the water. He think we are not gonna find him. And what we understand later, a lot of children they find in the water. Some of the people, they do that, they kill the children, just get to cross the border. It was a terrible shock, but thank God we was together again. And we walk, we don't know where we are. It was a very, very long walk, and we was very tired. Then my husband took off his coat, me too, put around the children, and the frozen snow, we can't move anymore. But we don't know if we are still in Hungary or we step over the border. But before, I didn't mention that we have to walk very, very curiously because it was miners. So we don't know when we're gonna stop on the miner and when we're gonna blow up. But we was there, I don't know how long. We just, somebody shook us, wake up, wake up, wake up. And there was the big truck, they put us on over there. And we understand we was in Austria already. Then they took us to the big building, it was a lot of people there. A lot of little children and all kind of people, and they give us hot cocoa and chocolate milk and cookies and soup. But we don't have any place to sleep. There was only straws on the floor, but it was good enough. We was free. We felt very good and was very proud of ourselves and for our family. A couple of days we stayed there. Then the transporters took us again, so the other camp, the other place. And we heard about is the Jewish people came much faster than any others, and in the camp it started the anti-Semitism. So somebody said to my husband, you don't look Jewish, your children is not circumcised, we don't let them in Hungary. We did it here when they was 8 years old and 4 years old. But in Hungary, we don't want to put the stamps on because I have the terrible experience, but I saw what's happened with those young boys who was hiding that time at 1944. So we said we are Protestants. And they took us right away with the 2 children to the different camp. It was a little better over there. We got food, we got clothes. and we was together. That's the main thing. So I was worried what's happened with my parents, and I called them. I telephoned because first of all we have the yeah, how it's called, that's, you know, it was the radio on that the people who escape can give some, I don't know how to like, some signal to the people who remain in Hungary. So we said what kind of word we're gonna use, not names, just a word. And my parents hear that. So when I telephoned for them, they said, oh yes, we know you are alive, thank God for that. So we stay in Austria for a while. Even Mike got a little job over there because he's like the tailor. He bought orange. We spent, it was Christmas time, so the people around us, they really give it to the children, some presents, some training clothes. And we want to come to the United States. My father's sister is here, Michael's brothers is here, and many of our relatives who came even before the war, many long time before the war. So we sent the letter to my aunt, who is my father's sister, and we got a response. She sent back to the letter and she said she's going to help for us. So she went for the papers, and together with my brother-in-law, Michael's brother, they sent the paper, they sent some money, and we was all ready to take the big trip to America. But it's little things came together again. Gary was very sick, and thank God he survived, but it was really very, very hard. But when we got on the boat in Hamburg, then he got penicillin, so he felt better. That was exactly December 1st, and we was on the ship till December 14th. All of us was very sick, seasick. The first day I was up, and the last day, and in between we slept in the little bed, three of us together. My sister-in-law who came with us, Michael's sister, Gary, and me. And Peter and Michael was in the different place with the man. The woman was separate and the man was separate. But during the day, we saw each other. He came over, and the only thing what I could swallow a little orange that he always gave it to me. So 2 weeks passed by. It was hard because that ship, it's about 400 people could fit on the ship, and there was 1,500 people. So like I said, in one little bed or bridge, there was 3 people, and all over on the floor, and all over, we have to step over the people. But we arrived February 14th. My aunt, my uncle, my cousin was waiting for us. And I see, every window, it was the big heart, Valentine's Day. So we arrived to United States of America at Valentine's Day. And they took us to Camp Kilmer. There were so many people already. And my aunties came with us. And there was already a happy days. The only thing I asked my uncle is help for me to get my parents out. But he said right away, that's not gonna be so easy. You have to wait till you're gonna be the citizen here. That's 5 years. And after we're gonna talk about, but just take it easy the first 5 years. And this wasn't easy. It was very hard in the beginning. Even I have the diploma, even I have the education, but I don't know the language. And here I was with 2 little ones. Michael went to New York. We started a new life in New Jersey, but he works in New York. And not too long after, I get pregnant with my daughter, who was born in 1958, Judy. So I have 3 little ones, but I did how much I could. I helped a lot.
What kind of work did you do?
When Peter and Gary, they went to the Hillel. It's like the yeshiva, Hillel Academy. So with Judy, I have somebody who watched her till I was working. First, I did all kind of job what I could get, just make a little money. Then I got in the fur store, like I was the buyer, and also I take care of the customers and Girl Friday, everything what I had to do, from bookkeeping to selling. And I was there for almost 20 years in that same place. And before I was in a different store, so till we came to Florida, that was 6 years ago, till the last day I was working. But now I jump a little bit forward. So going back, my daughter was born in 1958, May 20th. That was one of my happiest days in my life. I always wanted a little girl. And my 2 boys was wonderful students in Hillel Academy. They study very well. They was very well behaved, beautiful family. I have a lot of friends at that time, that Hungarian Jewish people, we came together, we have different background. We don't talk about the Holocaust so much. We talk about the baby food, and we talk about the diapers, and we talk about what kind of clothes we're gonna buy for the children. But somehow we want to forget the Holocaust. Then the children grow up. We bought a nice home, a big yard. The children eat the fruit from the fruit tree, the fruit. We have a dog, we have a cat, we have a parakeet. My son has always said since he was 4 years old, Gary, I want to be the doctor. And he have in the recreation room about 8 tank of fish, what he breed. He have gerbil, he have white mouse, he have baby alligator, name it, a little zoo. But we have a beautiful life. 5 years, now I jump a little bit, but I just want to say this 5 years we was here in the United States when we sent the papers to my parents. Then they came over, we lived together. That time we bought a house, we was together in that house. And we had nice birthday parties for the children. Peter's bar mitzvah, after 4 years Gary's bar mitzvah, after Judy was the big girl already. So it came at 1980. 1980, we saw the paragraph in the newspaper, it's going to be the World Gathering in Jerusalem. I really want to go. First of all, I have relatives in Israel, I want to see them. My father, 3 brothers, it went before the war, so I have cousins. And I would like to be there, not a World Gathering. So everybody is working and we put together with the children, with Peter Kelmaker, he was in the college already, but Gary and Judy, we went together to the World Gathering, Michael,
gathering
of the Jewish Holocaust survivors, what's made in 1981, April, in Jerusalem. It was something I said, we are not alone, and that's made me to write down my stories, that's made me to work like the Holocaust survivor. After we came home, I went to schools, I went to temples, I talked to bar mitzvah, bas mitzvah students, I went to even Catholic Church, I went to Baruch College, New York University, and wherever they need me, I went and I talk about. And just came out the words, much better than now. It came out like the rusty faucet you open, and like somebody tell me everything. And then I sit down and I write down my memos, my memories. I still have it. And I try to help wherever I could. And I mean, and before, at 1979, my mother died. She had heart attack. And 1988, my father died also in heart attack. So always, that hurts me very, very, very much because we was very close, we was always together. And now we stay with my little family, my 2 boys and my daughter in Clifton, New Jersey, in the house. And Mike was working really very hard. I was working hard. The children finished the high school, went to college. And Peter, after the college, Peter got married. Scott Joshua was born, and the next year, my first grandson. After 3 years, Melissa Sherry, my granddaughter, was born. And that was 1988 when my father died. That was a terrible tragedy in the family because he was very, very close. He was always take to the children different places, teach them, talk to them. They learn a lot from Grandpa Shandor.